How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Flamez Plays, and today I'm actually going to take a break from gameplay videos for today's Wildcard Wednesday. Instead, I want to show everyone what probably is the most important part of YouTube creation is the thumbnail. Now, the thumbnail needs to be catchy, it needs to catch people's eyes, because that's the first thing they see regarding you. They don't know anything about you, they don't know anything about the video, they don't know if you fought that epic boss, or if you opened up that massive loot crate with all the epic items in it. They just know that that thumbnail sucks. And they look past it. I'm going to teach you guys my process on how I make thumbnails, and I'm not going to say that I'm the end-all be-all expert on it, but I'm going to say that this is the process I use, and it seems to be working for me pretty well. So the first things first is fire up Google. Google is awesome, and I have nothing to say against it. So we're actually going to look for Dead Space, because that's the next game I'm playing. By the time this video came out, I probably already released a few episodes, but you want to look up Dead Space PNG or your subject matter PNG. And the reason you do that is because if you go to images here, all these images, you see how they have that white behind them? If you open them up, you'll see this checkerboard pattern here. This means these are transparent PNGs. So I've actually already gone ahead and found a few sources I liked. We got this logo here with the checkerboard, and this picture of Isaac here. I like the artistic style of the suit. So as soon as I see an image, I start to imagine where it's going to be placed on the thumbnail itself. So the next part you're going to need is you actually are going to need to find a background image. Now, since Dead Space takes place in space, I decided to look up space, and I looked for Creative Commons or any kind of other licensing that will allow me to modify it and not have to worry about licensing issues or copyright claims. We found this screenshot of the Big Dipper through the ISS, which was on Wikimedia, which is Creative Commons. So once you find your images, you're going to want to download them to your computer, because the PNG doesn't always work properly if you have it, you copy and paste it over from Chrome to GIMP, or from any browser to GIMP. GIMP is the software I use right here. I've downloaded these ahead of time. And for our thumbnail size, we want to go 1280 by 720. That is the standard HD resolution and what YouTube accepts. The first things first is, not mean to tab that away. First things first is you want to actually drag over your image. Now, since my background is larger than 1280 by 720, I can actually drag this around to find the positioning that I like. Now, some of these bright blue ones I'm not a big fan of. I'm gonna actually try to find one with less of them. I think that's about good. So once we have that, we're gonna want to start dragging over our actual, content. We have the Dead Space, and we have Isaac Clarke himself. Wow, Isaac is very big, so I'm going to teach you guys how to scale as well. But let's actually turn off this layer. So first, you're going to want to think about your words. If you have art below it or anything like that, you're going to run into a bit of an issue where in the bottom right hand corner, your time frame, like how long the video is, takes over a portion of it. So I usually try to keep my words on the left-hand side and images on the right. We're going to scale this slightly. And I use scaling through the layer. If you scale it by percent, we can scale it up to probably 125, and it would be still readable and a little clearer. We have Dead Space. I'm going to bring you down a little bit. We're going to put the part under here, but we're not going to do that through GIMP, and I'll show you a little trick I have that works perfectly for this. And then we have to work on Isaac himself. So Isaac is very, very, very large. We're going to drop him by 50%. And position him slightly to the side. Actually, 50% might be a little too much. We're going to drop him instead by 75%. It's a lot of trial and error with this stuff. So just because you put something in one time does not mean you have to keep it. Then that's not too shabby. I like I might move Isaac a little bit to the right still though. Like right about there, I think. Pretty good. Now there are other effects you can do in here if you want it to go for, depending on the game you're playing, of course, if you wanted to go for a a more staticky image, you can do the noise generators, which will create that. As well as if you wanted to, add a drop shadow, lights and shadow, drop shadow, and X-arch effect. I love the X-arch effect, actually. It makes stuff pop very well. The drop shadow function through GIMP's pretty good too. So there was one thing I wanted to comment on, which is everyone's love of the white outline surrounding everything. And to do something similar to that, I usually do the select by color tool or the fuzzy tool. These let you actually select one of the color portions and drag down, change the threshold. You can usually select the entire image, and then stroke selection. In here you can choose a line width, and that will add the actual white outline to it. So that's what it looks like with the white outline. So it does pop a little bit. Since I only used a line outline of 3 or 2, there's that jaggediness. If you use something higher, it'll actually look a little more smoother. But I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. And actually Control Z that away and then select none. So the last portion of this that I want to cover in GIMP is the branding. So I have a high resolution version of my thumbnail, which I created through Adobe Illustrator. And I'm just going to copy and paste it into a new layer. Scale it down, of course. Instead of using percentage though, instead of using a percentage, I just use the pixel limit. So I go 150 by 150, which still makes it pretty readable. Then choose snap to grid. Oh, no, actually snap to canvas edges. This will snap right into the corner and look perfect. So this is the actual image you see. We're just going to export to a PNG. Let's copy you over to pictures. There we go. And then we're going to name it Dead Space PNG. Export like that. That's fine. Then save our actual game project. We can then open up PowerPoint. And I know you were thinking PowerPoint. No, that's not cool. That's not what the kids are using. No, seriously, the PowerPoint's freaking amazing when it comes to making thumbnails. If we go to format background, you can actually choose a picture as your background. So we're going to choose our Dead Space picture we just added, and you can get rid of this extra stuff. Don't need it. Go away. Goodbye. You're thinking, oh, cool. Now our background is the Dead Space thumbnail we just made. What does that do? Well, we insert a footer and choose slide number and apply it to all. You get this little number 1 down here, and I hope you're getting what I'm putting down. I'm going to expand you out to the width of the actual logo. We might have to bring up a little bit too, but do that later on. Here's our number 1. Now, there's multiple ways you can do this. If you have your own personal font choice, like I do, there's a certain font that I like to use on most of my videos. You can go ahead and do that. Another option is to try to find a font that mimics the original game's font. So I'm going to do Dead Space title because I actually downloaded a font version that's similar to Dead Space's title. We're going to bump up the size to large, basically. 96 is the highest it goes. We're actually going to go 128, I think. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we want to try to mimic-ish the original Dead Space logo as best we can. We're going to try to choose the same color of black they'd used. And I'll show you why in a moment. So we're going to do part 1. That fits perfectly too. That's awesome. We have this, and it's hard to see. I agree. Over here, though, the formatting options, we can do text options, and then a glow. We choose a pretty hefty glow, like that. And then eyedropper, select this white color. And that's not too shabby. To be honest, it could be a little more accurate, but it's not bad. They're thinking, oh cool, we got part 1. Now we gotta do this for every single part we made. Actually, we should bring this out a little bit as well first, because you'll see why. Actually, you want to choose the font part and then choose that. And there's a reason why, you'll see in a moment. You want it to have enough space for another character. So we take our slide, select it, copy, and paste. Boosh. Slide 2. Slide 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 is where it gets a little messed up. I always run into this issue. I just undo all those copies and expand it out a little bit. Maybe bring the font in. Instead of 128, we'll do 112. And I'll fake that a little bit. There you go. So now we can try again. And, oh, see, and 10's almost perfect. So we'll just go back a little bit. Bring you over a smidgen. And that is perfect. That is amazing. We just do that for as many parts as you think you're going to have. I'm not sure how long my Dead Space playthrough is going to be at this moment. So I'm going to just do 30. As always, you can come back and you'll have everything saved so you can copy out more if you need to. Just save as my YouTube folder. Dead Space. You're thinking, oh, well, cool, I have a PowerPoint. No, they're not done yet. Nope, not at all. So what you do here is you change the file type to PNG. Keep the name, change it to PNG. A pop-up saying, what slide do you want to export? Export all the slides. And we're not going to press escape. There's no reason to. Each slide in your presentation has been saved as a separate file in the folder, the Google Drive, blah, 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 Dead Space PNG. So we have this. Oh, it's now. Boosh. Look at that. That is awesome. We have 30 slides, all set, all named. Slide 19 is part 19. Ready to go. So once you get it online, you select one of these slides, you match the part number to the slide number, you're good to go. So this has been a quick run through of how I make my my thumbnails. But if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I'd be happy to answer. I know I've got a few requests from people asking how this is usually done. So this is a quick run through. Of course, you can always get more complex or even more simpler if you want to. But as always, if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments down below. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. That way you get updates when I release new content. This is like a one-shot kind of non-gaming thing. I had a few requests from people who wanted to see how thumbnails were made, so I figured I'd run through. And as always, have a great day. Remember to burn bright, and I'll talk to y'all later.